Let's bring in America First legal president and general counsel, Gene Hamilton. Gene, great to see you. Leave it to the Democrats to exercise some selective outrage that they think benefits them politically. And that's what Bavino was talking about, is there are more than 300,000 children that the Biden administration, migrant children that they lost track of. But there was nary a peep from any liberal, any Democrat about that. But now this one child who they managed to reunite with his father, that's who they want to make a kind of totem for their outrage.
Absolutely. Look, they're looking to dehumanize the men and women of ICE and of CBP because it serves their political ends. What they want to do is they want to make these people ripe targets for people to dox and to defame and to assault and to act as though there is some righteous cause associated with rebelling against the enforcement of the United States immigration laws. Look, the American people have seen these types of lies for years. For years. They certainly saw it when I was in the Trump administration for 4 years, the first time around. For the 6 months I was there the next time around, we have a very different situation now, though, because we have a Department of Homeland Security, a Department of Justice, a Trump administration that is communicating directly to the American people, directly to news outlets with the actual facts, and they're able to do it much more rapidly than in years past so that the truth can actually come out.
What rights do ICE agents have, Gene, when they're doxxed or if they're assaulted? Even with all this misinformation, it seems so one-sided. Like, protesters do whatever they want. Agents just have to take it and keep doing their jobs. Is there some kind of avenue where they could go after the people who are making their lives such a living hell?
Yes, absolutely. So first and foremost, of course, the Department of Justice can criminally prosecute people who threaten to physically harm ICE officers and agents, CBP officers and agents. And they did today. They just announced charges against a man from Ohio for doing just that. But beyond that, there are civil remedies because ICE agents and officers, CBP agents and officers are human beings too. They are American citizens and they are American heroes who have the right to not be defamed, to not be illegally doxxed, have their private information put out there so that people can use it to ensure that harm befalls on these people. They have the right to not be assaulted. They have the right to not have their duties impeded. There are so many things that are at play here. Now, of course, the American people have the fundamental right under the First Amendment to protest and to let their voices be heard, and that's fine. No one is trying to say that you are not allowed to voice your disapproval with some policy that you don't like. But there is a big difference between peacefully protesting, peacefully registering your disapproval, and putting someone's family's information on the internet with the intent for them to be doxxed and defamed and harmed and for their children to be harmed. This is a wake-up call for the American people. So we at America First Legal are standing up to represent these officers and agents in the event that they do have such claims, that they do have viable legal claims, so that they know that they have the backing of a private law firm, a nonprofit law firm, to represent their interests and vindicate their rights at law.
Gene, really quickly, I was coming to work this morning and saw some ICE agents in a van. And my gut instinct was they were going to get food, a couple of them, somewhere in a van. My gut instinct was to worry about them, given this environment. But is the reaction and treatment of our ICE agents different in other parts of the country than what we've been seeing in Minneapolis? Real quick.
Yes, I think absolutely. There's lots of parts of the country where ICE agents and officers are welcomed. The American people support them. Vast majorities of the American people love what is happening now. They support the president's mission. They gave the president a mandate to do these things, and people across the country are very, very enthusiastic about the execution of these policies. But there's these pockets of resistance. There's these pockets of rebellion. And we're seeing it first and foremost in Minnesota.
Gene, we're happy to have your expertise today. Thanks for joining us.